When did a teacher put your life in danger? My history teacher took away my pepper spray because he said, "You're asking to get kidnapped." So I showed him the way to prison. When I was in preschool, my best friend was thrown into a van and her life ended in the woods, all because her father owed somebody money. For years since then, my mother never let me leave the house. She enrolled me in online self-defense classes and taught me to never walk home alone at night. My entire life was spent living in fear that someone would snatch me just like how they did my best friend. When I got to high school, I was accepted into a prestigious prep school on a partial scholarship. That meant that my mom had to work 2 jobs and I had to take the bus to school. Since I was taking the bus home at night, I was at a higher risk of danger, so my mom made sure I kept pepper spray on my backpack at all times. At my new school, my history teacher introduced himself and seemed very kind, but when he saw my pepper spray clipped on, he snatched it and told me, "You're just asking to get kidnapped, pretty little lady." I told him to give it back to me and he said, "I think I'll hold on to this. Don't worry, I won't snatch you." My wife would get jealous. I was absolutely disgusted by him, and no one in the class seemed to care. After class, I went to my guidance counselor's office and told them that my teacher took away my pepper spray. My guidance counselor told me, "Good, I hope you know you're not supposed to have pepper spray on school property." I told her I understood that, but it was for my own safety, and I told her that I didn't live close by like most students. Then she told me, "Then you're going to have to learn how to be careful." That entire week I kept watching my back, but on Thursday I ended up accidentally falling asleep on the bus. I remember the bus bumped on the road and that woke me up. As I was waking up, I felt a slimy sensation in my ear. I went to touch my ear and instead I felt another face. There was a man sticking his tongue in my ear. I immediately screamed and tried getting him off of me, but he wouldn't stop. I tried to use my self-defense, but it was useless. I tried punching him, but he grabbed my arm, twisting it and breaking it. At that point, the bus driver pulled over and kicked the man off the bus. I don't remember much, but I saw bones sticking out of my arm and I passed out. When I woke up, I was in the hospital with my mother crying beside me and a police officer there. My arm had pins and a cast on it. Before I could speak or say anything, the police officer asked me a question. "Young lady, do you have class with this man?" Then on his tablet, he pulled out a mugshot of my history teacher. I told him I did, and the officer said something into his walkie-talkie. Something along the lines of, "We have confirmation, you may proceed." It turns out that my history teacher had been keeping tabs on me. He'd been arrested in the past for stalking a woman home and was let go on bail. However, that wasn't the only incident. After he was arrested, it came out that he stalked over 8 women and had paid thousands of dollars to free himself. When he was hired as a teacher at my school, my principal told him not to worry because he seemed like a promising young man. When he saw me, he said it himself, "Don't worry, I won't snatch you." My wife would get jealous. So instead, he got his brother to feel me up and let me on the bus because he also had a criminal background. Shortly after my history teacher's arrest, people at my school called me crazy and said that I was the weird girl who brought a weapon to school and got our teacher fired. My mother was paying way too much money for me to go there, so I transferred out to my local public school, and I still made it to an Ivy League university on my own merit.